Yeah, bigohm actually running on console here. Well, I'm pretty sure Naii runs on BizHawk.
Ah, yes, BizHawk, everyone in the community's favorite piece of software.
I can't even deny it. I love BizHawk.
I'm not salty at all after.
Oh yeah.
BizHawk didn't even cost me a race. It just tilted me enough that the tilt cost me a race. And that's arguably worse.
I did see what happened because I was just curious. I just saw you like missiling like a broken door and missiling like that shutter that you should just shoot. Oh no, what happened?
I actually got to learn in real time in that race that if you missile a shutter, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but I guess it makes sense. Okay, so we see two different climbs here. Both roughly the same entrance to the next room. I personally like the left climb because it's like really comfy, but as I play the game more, I should probably learn the harder climb because it saves about maybe like a half a second to a second, depending on how well you do it.
Also can help you out with improving your time in milk.
Yeah. One of these days I'll play it. The clean station. Ooh, nice fall from Ohm there. That's not how you normally do it, but very well done.
Also, shout out to our Speedgaming volunteers for getting all of the cropping set up and for all the hard work they do in helping us bring you these races here.
Yeah, much appreciated. Takes, as much off the commentators as they do. It's very appreciated.
It looks like we don't have a bot ready here, so I will go ahead and do my best robot impersonation here. The world record for this category is 134.30. Monkey a little bit too fast for me, as is tradition.
Well, Monkey's currently going for... Oh, well, I guess not hundo. At the moment, he's really grinding for any percent, but one of the best...
I was going to say, Monkey world record when?
Yeah, he definitely knows it.
And what we all know here is plenty of text mashing throughout this run as well. Not something where you can just button mash through the whole text, but you actually have to time your inputs in order to clear the text screen as quickly as you can after it finishes. And then press another button quickly before going back to your original button to hold. No two runners in our community agree of which combination of down A and B that you should be using. Ignore the mathematical reality that what I just said is false.
Yeah, we have a 20% chance here of survival.
We do. And we have 100% chance of this impressive sync between our runners. Less than a second of difference here.
Yeah, very nice missile split from both of them. You definitely like text matching. You said text matching. It's definitely really important to put your RTA time down because even myself, in the past, I've had a lot of problems with figuring out what works best for me, and it definitely is worth practicing. I guess for me, I just do runs, but I've known other runners to just actually memorize every single text box, but it's helpful for sure.
bigohm grabbing these style points, doing the wall kick on the way down that room. I think it loses a couple frames to do the wall kick, but swag's more important than speed.
Even Naii doing they're like frame perfect jumps. You can save a frame if you do the perfect jump off of the whatever you want to call it, the platform there as you fall down.
And that really is the story of Metroid Fusion speedrunning too. It's a game of minor time saves and small micro optimizations that add up over the course of about an hour and 40 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, every room you can save so much time. Bigohm getting the double and only one beam, so really good start here from Ohm here. Naii not even going for the doubles, just playing it safe and shooting the high. So, pretty big lead here from Ohm just from the RNG and getting the double, of course.
Getting a quick roll out of Ohm, but only a one roll Arachnus. can accept that, especially in a race.
Yeah. With the quick roll, if he didn't spam his missiles correctly, he could have gotten the double, but... Well played. Let's see if Naii gets the... Okay. Neither getting the double roll, so that's nice.
Yeah, and it looks like Naii just missing the double, not able to get a sweet spot, but still getting through. Having to take just an extra second to get that core X. While taking a small lead on the way to the meat of the game.
Yeah, this room after Arachnus I really find to be very fun every run you play, because like it's just, you know, whatever you do, you can just wall kick off the first wall, you know, you do that little strat so you don't get the morph ball bounce, and you can do all these different strats to shoot out those 2 blocks, and it's a lot of fun to do perfectly. Love that room, especially if you're leaving Arachnus on a good pace. It feels good to do that room perfectly.
Oh yeah, and there's nothing like the first time that you get the double shot instead of missing and having to do the backup pull-ups.
Yeah, for sure.
And here opting, as is very typical, to pick up the cubbyhole missiles on the way to Sector 1. And especially in a race, and especially in Hundo, there is no reason not to pick up this item at this time. I think it's technically slightly faster on the way to animals, but missile management in Sector 1 is very important. We want to make sure we get to the eye door with enough missiles to open it so we don't have to farm on a 20% drop rate. And having 5 more missiles makes that 5 missiles easier to do.
Yeah, I even pick it up in any percent. It's just comfy. I mean, if you play perfectly, you're never going to need it, but it's just nice to have that extra 5 missiles. Especially if you're going for doubles on the charge core eye door.
Yeah, and you lose, what, 1.5 seconds over the optimal missile route for that 90%?
Yeah, it depends on what you go for, but yeah, roughly about a second or so.
Which, like, if you're not pushing for world record, there are probably other places to save your time than optimizing your missile count.
I can still hear Scotty saying, though, but it saves a second. It's free! I've heard him say that so many times. Because it does technically save a second, so if you're really trying to optimize it, it's just free time saves.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I've seen a lot of higher level 80% players who are in this tournament, not in the tournament itself, but in the practice races and practice runs, forget that and have to pick it up on the animal split. It's kind of funny. Sector 1 here. It's a little bit easier than 80% because, like you said, we have that extra missile tank and we get this energy tank after the first stabilizer room, so we're automatically going to have full health no matter what.
Yeah, the reason full health is important is if we have full health, we're guaranteed that every drop will be a green X to give us 2 missiles instead of having an 80% chance of giving a health refill. Trying to go for the Hornode missile strat, unfortunately not able to get it, but not a terrible pattern to get out of the room. Although, is slacking on the repair work. There was a door to be fixed there, and chose not to fix it.
Yeah, I can't hate too much. I hate to say it, but I always forget door fixes myself, so...
Yeah. That door fix, I'm great at remembering it, right as I'm going through the door.
I do that a lot. Even the big
Real
ones.
talk, I'm calling out people's door fixes and as a way to try to learn them myself.
Yeah, that's a good strat, honestly. It's like visual learning, you know. You see it and speak it. I saw Naii do this that fall in the last race. You can fall. Bigohm did it himself on the far right side, and you can either morph or spam missiles and break your spin, and just fall down the right side. And on top of falling down, you get to farm a little bit of those pirates as you either break spin or morph. Breaking spin being the faster option, but a little bit tougher. So it's really important to do that fall there. But I mean, there's so many strats in this game. It's hard to do everything perfectly.
Yeah, and with a very interesting East Pirate climb there as well.
Yeah, I saw that. He was just.
It looked pretty efficient.
Yeah.
I've never quite seen that strat used before.
Yeah, the bob and weave strat.
Naii getting a good backup for a jump that landed a little bit low. Let's see what gets at the door.
Yeah, Naii doing
not getting the double there.
Close. doing the more standard strat with the pirate climb of sticking to the left side.
And of course, every time the door goes to open its eyes, we've got a chance to get between 0 and 4 beams. And so whenever you don't get the double early on, you just give it a chance to take more seconds of time loss. I'm using the platform to keep the 4X in position and get ready to drop some doubles into it, picking up his charge beam, which will allow us to get through enemies much more quickly here.
Yeah, both the runners with pretty good RNG. And I had some poor RNG on the first eye door, but I think he only got either 2 or 3 beams there. Jack, you correct me if I'm wrong, but with doing no doubles, that's really good RNG.
And shout out to Monkey pointing out that the main deck missiles lose 0.6 of a second over an optimal route.
Oh, okay. So it's not a second. Oh, okay. We can round up, that's fine. Ooh, nice climb up there from bigohm in the, I'm not sure what we call that room, but they climb up to the last generator there.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of rooms that don't have items in them haven't gotten names yet.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have to come up with things to call those in old rando tourneys.
Yeah. That's a real, I really like that room as well in Sector 1, just because it's a ton of, there's a lot of optimization that can be done with shot canceling and jumping.
I love that room and I wish I were good at it.
Hey, me too. I wish I was good at it as well. I usually just go for the shot cancels on the last 2, just because it's easiest that way.
Yeah, and shot cancels, for anyone not familiar, when you shoot right as you're about to snap to a ledge, it will snap Samus to the ledge a little bit more quickly so that you can instantly start moving. So it's just another small optimization that saves a couple frames here and there.
Yeah.
And especially when done shot canceling to snap to platforms to immediately jump off of them, it just makes some of the climbing look just absurdly fast.
Yeah, it could also go both ways. I've lost plenty of time myself messing up shot cancels, because you definitely have to shoot at that right point of time to snap.
Oh yeah, because if you miss it, you lose your momentum and end up falling slower, so...
Yeah, nothing's worse than just constantly jumping and not making the jump and shooting before you can reach the ledge over and over. Like, I'll just give up. On to Sector 2 now. Big line of text here.
Would it really be speedrunning if we didn't just lose a bunch of time all over the place by trying to save a frame or 2?
Yeah, exactly. Speedrunning in a nutshell there. Over time, we'll get better.
Yeah, just have to iron out the skill issues.
Yeah. But yeah, Sector 2, we have this big line of text here. I always find it funny that the bomb split is, like, a lot of the time save is strictly just from good text mashing, besides a couple of rooms here and there, because there's just so much text. After here, though, it's going to be more skill-based, especially, and RNG-based, sadly, with Zosby coming up. But we'll definitely have to see the Zoros, the red Zoros especially, if these guys can hit the double missile on those, because those are pretty tricky, and that can lose a little bit of time as well. The ones that are strictly in our way. There can also be some RNG here, as we see bigohm getting bad RNG on the Zoro spawning higher. If the Zoro spawned lower, that's these little caterpillar-looking things, he could have just jumped right over it, but he had to wait and kill it. And double bad RNG for bigohm here.
Double bad RNG, but reacting well to the patterns that he's getting.
Definitely.
Oh, and it looks like Naii going a little bit too low with the jump there, and then giving the second Zoro a bit of time to spawn.
Yep. That was pretty well played for bigohm there for sure. Getting that double missile on the Zoro as well. Naii doing it. So maybe it's not hard anymore.
Stubs his toe on the way back in the Zoro room, though.
There it is. Yeah, we'll see our primary damage being charged. I see a little slip up from Naii there, trying to shoot missiles there on that Zoro into the security room. He could have just killed it with the charge beam, but obviously not losing much time at all. Charge beam is going to be our primary source of damage, at least until we get the super missile. Now we can one-shot the eye doors and subtract a lot of RNG from the run, which is nice. And enemies as well, of course. You see our charge being
Absolutely.
one-shot.
I'll take getting 0 to 4 eye doors over taking 0 to 12 any day.
Yeah, that's why those first 2 eye doors are really the big speed bump for speedrunning the game, especially in 100%, or I mean in any percent, because there's just so much RNG to be had there without having the charge beam. But we get through it, you know. You can always play well, as everybody says. Literally, that's the best time save you can do, and get those double missiles to negate a lot of the RNG.
And both of our runners fortunately remembering to pick up the missile tank outside of the data room. That one is one of the most painful items that you can forget in a hundo run, because the door leading to it is destroyed, so you have to go basically everything that Ohm is doing right now. You have to do this all in reverse toward the end of the run if you forget those missiles.
I don't know how much time that loses, but it has to be like a minute and a half at least, even in cleanup when you have all the items.
Yeah, I believe the answer to how much time does that lose is too much.
Yeah, too much, exactly. Yeah, these Sector 2 rooms are so fun, in my opinion. There's like a lot of bobbing and weaving and bombing a block and trying to, optimally trying to, you know, go back and forth or jump and hit it as it's getting broken on your way down. And there's a lot
showing
of
off it.
optimizations.
And down the Poyo pillars there, Ohm showing off the classic strat of the unmorph spin jump into a wall kick.
Yeah.
Recently has been supplanted by a damage boost so that we don't have to unmorph and remorph, but I've always just loved the look of the classic strat here. It looks like Naii also going for the classic.
I mean, that was thought to be the fastest for a long time until Beria timed it himself, because notoriously he's a very good runner, obviously a top runner for this game, but that's like one of the only things he's not very good at is those wall kicks, and so he just timed it and was like, hey guys, guess what? It's actually faster than I can do that.
Yeah, I was kind of happy when I saw it because I'm also terrible at those.
Yeah. And also, just it's free now. You just hold right and hopefully get the good RNG, but if you don't, it's still faster. And we're talking frames here. It's not much faster, but easier.
Oh, absolutely. I mostly was just assuming it was faster because I saw Monkey do it in a run.
Yeah,
and
right.
If Monkey's going for a strat, it's probably the right one.
Yeah. Fusion's pretty
and both
interesting.
Our runners with the high five in Zazavi's room.
Yes. Zazavi, one of those RNG gauntlet bosses that we hate, but have to play here. Pretty good RNG from bigohm there. I didn't see how many jumps, but that was a fast fight.
I am the absolute worst at remembering to count anything when I'm commentating.
Yeah, it's multitasking hard. Naii also with a decent fight. I saw the last 2 rounds. He got 0 extra jumps in the last round and 1 extra jump on the second last round, so that's good for him.
Yeah, we take those.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it could have been, I believe, 4 extra jumps instead of 0, so maybe 3. I'm bad at the knowledge in this game compared to others. I just like to play and go fast. The lead, it's 4. Oh, 0-3, 1-0.
Ohm getting the right knockback, but close enough to the door that able to get through that sack skip. I'm not sure if that was an intentional setup with the delay there, but
I didn't see the beginning of it. It looked like he was a little bit to the left where I do my skip, but maybe I just didn't see it correctly. But he got through it, and that's all that matters.
And it looks like Naii opting to take the safety and just wait for the SAX to open the door and run out after it.
I can't blame him. It's a race. It's, you know, better safe than sorry.
You lose 8 seconds, but how many of our runners in this tournament have we seen lose their runs to sack skip?
Yeah, it's... You can
or
literally
in one case, still keep the run because their opponent died to box.
Yeah, there was that one time, but we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, not naming any names there.
Ice Edge. Getting through with Sector 2, coming into Sector 4, which in my opinion is one of my favorite sectors in like the pre-cleanup phase, where you're just kind of going through the any percent route and just getting items, because in Sector 4 quote-unquote cleanup, you really only get one item, which is a power bomb. So that means we're going to be getting pretty much every item besides that one power bomb in this one trip here. So there's going to be a lot of extra rooms and optimizations and interesting movement that we will see that you won't see in any percent.
Sector 4 also, I think it's just this is one of the most satisfying segments to run through, because it has so many little strats that just save a little bit of time, but that look and feel really cool when you actually pull them off.
Definitely. Especially even like, we'll see, not the first actual room, but like the next two rooms after that, there's so many different ways people can do them, and like you said, it just feels so good you gotta kill all these different enemies that are in your way, hit these arc shots, or missile shots, whichever these players do them, and it feels so good.
For sure. Like one room where we end up taking out a crab, only to then fire a missile into an unmorph, so that the missile is just able to open a door for us, and we can open the door without having to get back out of our morph ball.
Very cool.
Fish spawning in Ohm's way, but Ohm not having any problems with that, just immediately taking out the fish and continuing through.
Yeah, this has been like actually a really good Sector 4 from the gun there. Taking the hit from the crab there, but that was really well done.
Ohm remembering to fix the door on the way into Broken Bridge, but not remembering to fix it on the way out.
Oh, I just told you! I told him about that door fix when he was practicing earlier.
I think that was the first door fix I learned.
Yeah, that's the biggest one in Hundo, where it saves, I don't know the exact time, but it saves over a second going into and out of it combined. So, I mean, that's really just a free second for doing the job.
And of course, we have a whole spreadsheet full of door fix timings, but I suspect the way that most of us learn them is just listening to the community roast each other in chat.
That's how I learn. I dumbly learned, the only door fixes I learned were the ones that were over, like, 30 frames or something like that. And so I just missed out on a ton. That was not the way to do it, but I'm slowly learning them from watching runs and people roasting me.
The good thing is that's free time save.
Exactly, free time save. You love to see it. I gotta refresh here, but it looks like we're almost in Gymnast Room, which is one of my favorite rooms in the game. It's a vertical room where there's just tons of, there's enemy pattern, there's different ways you can wall jump, do all these different strats. Looks like did just like the standard way of doing it though.
Yeah, got through pretty standard.
But still,
I have a runner opting to do the door fix into upfire to take out the first ouch immediately. It looks like Naii waiting it out as Big Ohm goes up against the boss with the best music in the game. Shoutouts to Saris.
Oh yeah. Great music, horrible boss. It's not that bad.
And we've got the 2-round from Ohm, getting both of the shots. Saris has 50 HP, missiles do 10. Our charge, if we hit with both particles and the flare, does 26, so we want to take it out in 2. Just missing the sweet spot there.
It's great to take it out in 2, but it just hurts so bad when you don't take it out in 2, because Saris stays invincible for a specific amount of time, so you're just going to lose all that time when it's invincible, and you got to be at the right spot to get that really tough charge shot. Because as you said, you got to get the whole charge shot plus the flare to get that kill.
And Saris has 3 different patterns that it can cycle through with its movement. 2 of them, you know exactly where it'll end up, and you can shoot it. One of them is a troll pattern, and it can still be reacted to, but it just throws everything off and makes it harder to line up your next shot. So the more opportunities you give Saris to troll you, the more opportunities to lose a bit of time.
Yeah, Naii showing it off really well here. Oh my god, so many troll phantoms, like 4 in a row. Yeah, I feel so bad for Naii right now. And this is why we hate Cirrus. Bigohm showing a really good Cirrus fight, and Naii showing off why everybody dislikes this place.
Yeah, as we all know, Cirrus is never worth.
But still getting through it.
People used to think that I had some like crazy reasoning for why I would always skip Cirrus and Randomizer, and it was like, no, I'm just bad. I'm bad and I will lose time. And I'm picking up the required Missiles of Shame here. Always hurts when you have to pick those up in an any percent run because you weren't fast enough to get out. And Naii having a little bit of trouble, but getting off the spark.
I'm gonna do some behind the scenes journalism here. I'm pretty sure Ohm's on PvPs. Oh no, he's not. He's plus 9.7, but his run's looking pretty solid here.
Yeah, plus 9.7 this early is still very, very alive.
Oh, definitely, definitely. A lot of the time save is going to be in cleanup, which is personally my favorite part of Hundo, which we'll get into after Ridley.
Yeah, once I get my tech set up, I've actually been kicking around the idea of just doing Hundo cleanup from a save state, or not save state, but just from a save file as a new extension category.
That's like low-key like a really good idea, actually.
Because cleanup is so fun.
It is.
But you have to fight through an hour and 10 minutes of Metroid fusion to get to it.
And there's a lot of like really tough strats that like I've personally not learned because it takes so long to get there. But if you just start at cleanup and it's like maybe like a 25-minute, 30-minute run, like I would definitely go for it.
And also think about the space boost you get to do.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because it only saves like a second and a half, but like I'll go for it for sure. It's just its own category. Yeah, no low height, sadly, in Sector 4. That's the one thing that any percent has over Hundo in Sector 4. There's no low height, but those players getting out pretty well here. Getting all the items.
And no one having to do the walk of shame in the waterway.
Yeah, exactly. Which is nice. Haven't done the walk of shame.
Disappointed in our runners not trying to go for the frame perfect speed keep in the Golden Crab room.
Yeah, I mean that's a Coralax jump, so I think, or Coralax keep, whatever you want to call it. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. Where's the speed boost you do on top of that pillar at the?
Oh, you can't really do anything with it.
Oh,
you just keep it for swag.
Nice, and that's what's most important, obviously.
But bigohm making his way into Sector 3 here. Nice positioning to get down into Telltale Heart, and here's hoping Ohm correctly going up the right side. If you go up the left side there, you don't have enough speed or space to soar up a Shine Spark, so we go up the right side to make sure we can get through the room quickly.
I mean, that was like textbook how you do that. I mean, that wall jump's pretty tricky. So you got the wall kick first try, and then got the speed booster. That's nicely done.
Yeah, that's what you want to see in that room.
He's on it. And we got box coming up. So I don't know these players' strategies. There's the standard way of killing it, but in Hundo, it's pretty safe to do the quick kill box.
Ooh, nice shine break to store the Shine Spark to get up Red Tower.
That's beautiful.
You'll love to see it.
It's so beautiful. I don't even go for that because it only saves a second, and the time loss is, so brutal. But it's so nice to see. Well
I've
done.
historically always gone for it, but after having a few times where I tried to stop it right before the tile to get the break, I might put that one on the shelf for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I probably should go for it because it's not that hard, but it's just the time loss is so brutal. Having to go all the way back. But I'm showing it off there. Just awesome to see. That's a really swag looking strat that's tough to do. And even
And
tough.
not quite getting Data Spark there. Oh, and Naii a little bit short for getting the speed keep, able to back it up quickly.
That was good backup there for sure, but yeah, that was a bummer. He was very close there to getting it.
Even so, Ohm has a decent lead, but this is Hundo, and there is plenty of game to see things turn around.
Oh, for sure. We saw, even in like my race versus Flash, that was really close. Like, there were rooms where I lost like 20 seconds and Flash lost 20 seconds, and there could be even more time lost, you know, from our runners here.
Okay, it's a special case. I don't think we'll see too many races where literally the lead changes multiple times in the same room.
But I'm just saying.
Your cat jams in chat, by the way.
Okay, Ohm going for, actually not even for the shot there, but still, nice fight for sure.
Yeah, Ohm will have it on this next cycle here. Unfortunately, killing Box a little bit further to the left, so that is further that it has to walk to the right to go back into storage.
Yeah.
Counterpoint, we got to hear more Box theme.
Yeah.
So really, chat are the true winners here.
Great theme there. Yeah, there's a
Ohm
little...
going for the swag Shine Spark to break the bomb block there.
Ooh, nice. That looked very nice. Yeah, in the box fight, there's like a little black line in the background you can kind of hold the ladders at, and it'll give you like a perfect like line of fire to shoot a bunch of missiles. 2 box if you're doing the standard strat. You'll see it in the
I don't
background.
think I ever noticed those.
Yeah, that's exactly where I do the do my charge, or not charge shots, but the missile shots, and it's usually pretty consistent as long as you're lined up right. Yeah, Ohm is on it here, getting the swag, just playing well. Naii not too far behind though.
Yeah, and that's what we love to see in these tournaments too, is that over a tournament run, a lot of times as the players get a little bit more warmed up, kick off a little bit of the rust, is we see the times that runners are getting going down throughout the tournament a lot of times. Naii also going for a classic safe box fight. Needed one more shot there, and Box headed back into storage.
I would say that's a bummer, but I think he actually saved a little bit of time not killing it and using that one last missile, because you mentioned it earlier as Box slowly crawls to the right. Box jumping itself is definitely much faster, so I think Naii actually saved a little bit of time there, funny enough.
One of the best parts of speedrunning, where you do something more slowly so that you save time.
Yeah, accidental time save there.
Meanwhile, Ohm on the way into Sector 6, where we're finding out that there are X that have been in the freezer, and Bamus now having Metroid DNA is very vulnerable to cold, so
Yeah,
they'll do some pretty nice damage if they end up hitting us.
Taking a field trip from Sector 5 to Sector 6 here.
Oh, Ohm showing off the spark through the Garen there. That's a backup strat that you use in any percent sometimes if you don't have enough missiles coming out of box.
Yeah, that's interesting there. And he got the morph, or the bomb too, so... Maybe that loses
that
a
bomb,
little bit
of course.
of time with the block, but definitely looks good. Oh, it might even save some time, no, personally.
It's definitely slower because of the startup and the bonk animation, but it looks cool, and we take that.
Cool, and it can't lose much time, because like I said, he's still got the morph and the bomb, so you won't have to worry about that on his way out. You can just pick up
The real question will be, do we see Ohm picking up that missile on the way out of Sector 6 this time, or is he going to save it for cleanup? Cleanup is optimal, we've recently learned.
Yeah.
As it also often sets you up for a better puffer pattern going into the E-tank across the hallway.
Yeah, lately I've been just... If I have a good puffer pattern on my way out of Sector 6, I'll just grab it. But if it's a crappy puffer pattern, I'll grab it and clean up. But,
oh, and Ohm running into a little bit of trouble with the sack skip here.
Yeah, he shot early, but he still got out pretty quickly. Just got frozen for a minute there, for a second there.
And this is one of those moments where you're really glad this is Hundo, because doing that in any percent doesn't feel nearly as okay.
Very scary. Getting a mediocre pattern here in, I forget the room name, but Wine Cellar, right? But not the worst pattern.
Yeah, even a good pattern, those slugs are still annoying as all heck.
Yeah. One beam again. Pretty good RNG still here from home. Good for him. As we move on to Mega Export. Gotta get those charge beam shots in, kind of similar to Ceres, where unlike Ceres, Mega Core X only takes damage from charge beam.
Yeah, good double on the spawn there.
Yeah. Wow.
And
well done.
Mega Core also one of the biggest uses of damage boosting in this speedrun, as we damage boost to get inside its hitbox. That way we're hitting all 3 particles at one time. The intended strat is where you just kind of get into a dogfight with the thing and you have to shoot it like 12, 13 times as it just bounces across the room.
But as we saw Ohm there, he killed it in 4 shots. So, and that's optimal. 4 shots is the quickest way of killing it.
Yeah, Naii with a simple and clean SAX escape. And Ohm not going for the 1 second of time save with the frame perfect bomb jump that is extremely difficult to do and will lose you many seconds if you don't get it first try.
It's so difficult. Oh my gosh. Like a bomb jump on its own is difficult, but then like under the pressure of like, if I miss this, I'm losing a bunch of time. It's tough.
It took me so long to stop going for it because I made the mistake of the first time I ever tried for it, I got it.
Oh, that's the worst.
And so, you know, when you get it on the first try, you have to keep going for it, even when it's like, okay, now I'm 1 for 50.
Yeah, but I got it first try, so it's free, right?
Exactly. Time save's just sitting there for you.
Ohm has some pretty good patterns on his way out. He got the perfect pattern in the first room there, and decent cover patterns in that vertical room rooms later.
Naii pretty clean on the Mega Core. Doesn't look like he's going for doubles here. Just doing efficient positioning with these singles.
He might be trying to go for... You might have tried to go for downward doubles there, but I don't think he got one. Maybe that last one was a double, but I wasn't counting.
It did look like that last one was a double to get the final position.
If it was a double that saved time, or just the last double. But yeah. He might have been going for downward doubles. It looked like he was, but maybe that's just how he does the boss fight.
Yeah, I feel like Mega Core probably has the Core X that has the most variance in how we set up our doubles in the community for it.
Yeah, I've seen people do diagonal doubles even on it. Not like optimally, or it's definitely not the easiest way to do it. But if it's, you know, because it spawns in random positions depending on how you kill it. So there's that first double is always tricky to get for sure.
Yeah, and even just a big difference in some runners jump between the platforms to set up their doubles, whereas some jump over the Core X on the central pattern.
Right.
And rely purely on shot cancels to get their positioning down for it.
Yeah, good point.
And a lot of this game really just comes down to just comfort with various methods of doing things that are all similar in the amount of time that they take.
Yeah, I was just about to say, even on Ceres, we have runners that do different setups for different doubles, and they save or waste no time because the core itself is always going to be invulnerable for a specific amount of time. But people just have their preferences on how they like to do their doubles, and that's awesome to see. Different strats.
Yeah, and the best strat is the one that you actually get consistently.
Exactly, yeah.
Naii opting to pick up the missiles on the way out of Sector 6. I think we saw Ohm skip those.
Missed it. If Ohm skipped it, he just has like a natural, like 5... Or Naii has like a 5-second leeway there, if Ohm skipped it, but I didn't see personally. Which in Hundo, it's always interesting to see, because different people have different preferences on when they get items as well. Like I specifically like to get a Sector 2 item later, because I have Screw Attack, and I get Screw Attack and Ouch. Or others, it's like a little bit faster to get it first. So we might have a little bit of variance on the lead. But it won't be more than just, you know, 10, 15 seconds max.
Also, there's a reasonable chance that the commentators forget by that point anyway.
True.
Not that I kept continually disregarding that difference when a certain co-commentator of mine was in a race earlier in the tournament.
Oh, for getting an item earlier or later or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I must have missed it. Ooh, nice elevator down for Naii. Sector 5, not many crazy rooms. There is one specifically after we get Ice Missile, which is going to be in just a little bit here on your home screen, where there's going to be a little bit of RNG depending on how the strats are done. If there is a specific strat that you can negate the RNG, but yeah, there's different ways a specific ripper that spawns can go. But besides that, it's pretty standard.
Yeah, I feel like this first lap through Sector 5 is also kind of one of the low points of the run as well. Just not a whole lot going on in it.
The second trip through Sector 5, there's definitely a lot of crazy rooms and optimizations, but yeah, the first time you're just kind of unlocking level 3s, getting Ice Missile, and then leaving.
Now let's see if Ohm is going to YOLO for the 200 missile, and it looks like Ohm is going for the YOLO. You save some time by killing the pancake that you used to jump up the room in order to let it spawn into the Ripper more quickly. The downside is if you miss it, then you have to reset the room.
Yep. And I don't want to speak too heavily on this, but I think that negates a little bit of RNG. I don't know 100% myself. But I've heard that killing that pancake will make the Ripper always spawn in that spot. I could be mistaken there because I don't know 100%, but I believe that's what's been said. Because I do it a different way myself. I like to play it safe in that room because, as you said, you have to reload the whole room if you mess up. So that's a big
it's scary to take off the training wheels there.
Yeah. In like worst case scenario, you just have to wait for the Ripper to just kind of slowly go to the other side, and it's nowhere close to the amount of time loss of in the room. And now we got Franker Z.
Franker Z always getting into emergencies. I don't know what's up with that dog.
We love doggos here, though.
We do love doggos here.
It's late here, otherwise you probably would have heard my doggo bark at least once or twice on this cast. But she's sleeping. Yeah, emergency in any percent and hundo, not big, like actually nothing has changed. One of the more optimized segments, and it's also fun because we can see exactly how well these runners do because there's a timer.
Oh no!
No!
Naii accidentally getting trolled.
No, Naii, you gotta
Up the air. And now the Ripper going in the wrong direction. Oh, you hate to see it.
He does not have to reload the room. My bad. For some reason I thought he killed that pancake, so not losing. Like
no, he played it safe the first time and it saved him, but
that still sucks.
That's not what you want to see in that room.
Yeah, that has happened to me one time where I got that freaking X core just goes right to Samus, and after that happened to me, I just always duck or like crouch in that section because that's the worst case scenario in that room. I feel bad for Naii. Feels bad, man.
I'm taking a little bit of a lava bath, but able to recover it quickly. And so far, a pretty solid emergency.
Yeah, besides the lava bath, dude, playing very well.
Interesting strat to shoot the first Nami up before doing the one that you jump off of.
This big room being the more difficult of rooms to do vertically because there's so many enemies, stretchies that get in your way, but nicely done from home.
Yeah, I'm making it look easy, and that's not easy.
Yeah, I know we're past the room, but those Nobas on the ground, you have to short hop over them. I personally freeze them and clip onto them, because if you jump too high, that stretchy will be in your way every single time. But
I can't tell if that was a double.
I think it was. That one wasn't. Might be a little bit behind. Let me refresh. Yeah, the first one was a double. The second two weren't. 426.46 for the first. That should be like a 423, I think.
424. And 424, you take those. It's not an amazing escape, but we take those.
Yeah, it could definitely be worse. We've definitely seen our share of 1Xs and 0Xs. Cough, cough, Barrier, cough, cough. Alright, I'm throwing shade, but Barrier literally like PP by like 45 seconds in his last race, so he's doing just fine. Pretty good entry here. Ooh, I'm taking. He seems to like the lava here in Sector 5 or Sector 3. Yeah, this climb is also a big one here.
Once you get good at Red Tower Climb, it is one of the most satisfying bits of movement in the game.
Definitely. I love this climb so much. The only optimizations I don't do is in the middle, doing the wall kick off the ladder, but everything else, like, it just feels so good to get it.
And then correctly shooting the shutter with the wide beam.
Yes.
I recently learned the funny way that if you shoot those with a missile, it does not care.
Oh yeah, this was the exact spot where I saw it. As we saw a nice point. Oh no, he froze the stretchy, so smartly done there from Naii. Because he jumped too high, so the stretchy would have been in his way for sure, but he correctly saw that he just needs to freeze it, and it's fine.
Yeah, bad side hopper pattern means that Naii unfortunately having to take the long way through that room.
It was just RNG manipulation. 0 beams were on, we're good. That's the copium in me speaking. When you speedrun it, you just can't help but do it.
Nice double to close that out for Naii. Gonna get a 414 emergency.
Nice. Nice double there. And that core X there is notoriously pretty difficult to get doubles on, so both of our runners getting at least one double is nicely done from them.
And now our runners have to go waste some frames. They're gonna have to go save the animals here.
Yep. Waste a lot of frames. Animals notoriously being one of the more boring segments. It's not too long, just like 6.5 minutes from when we pick up wide beam till we get power bombs. But yeah, there's not much. There's a couple of fun rooms, especially the whole animal room itself. But,
it looks like going for the beyond strat here, because it's clearly not impossible.
Nice backup. That backup is not easy for sure.
And getting the shine break, not going for the strat of inexplicably just stopping before building speed 5 times in a row.
No. Naii passing the broken door that Autumn shot, I think, 15 times with a super missile. Ooh, good animals from. And that's not shade at all. That's not shade at all. That's just this hawk screwing you over there. I wonder what was. Do you know what actually happened there, where you were shooting missiles instead of regular shots?
Oh no, I was shooting missiles because I was mad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's move on. I'm sorry.
I don't know, sometimes Especially in Hundo, you get so many missiles, and sometimes you just gotta take out your frustration on the BSL research station.
Okay, yep. Gotcha. Thought something was wrong.
I mean, there were things that were wrong. That wasn't one of them.
Oh goodness. This is 12:30 a.m. Eastern Coast casting from your boy here.
We have fun here.
Yeah, this is the Metroid Hundo tournament. And we're just, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, this is just not even arguably the most boring part of the Hundo speedrun here, where we're just saving the animals, not really getting anything, and then going back to Sector 5 to get power bombs. And then that's when things are going to pick up significantly. Where we can get power bombs to go through all these, walls that we couldn't, and pick up items that we couldn't pick up before. And we're going to be fighting a ton of bosses back to back to back to back.
Yeah, it's honestly a really well-placed segment to sort of give us a little bit of a break in the middle of the run before the intensity really picks up.
Yeah, definitely. I've liked that about Fusion, where there's that, and personally in it, any percent, the last time you talk to Adam, there's just that moment where you're stuck in dialogue for a little while, but you can just kind of chill for a little bit, and just prepare for what's about to come, which is a bunch of craziness.
Oh, Naii unfortunately not able to get the shine break there. So having to back up with a stretchy climb, and these stretchies are not fun to climb.
There's a pretty good backup that I urge any speedrunner to learn in this room. You can do this room so quickly where when you miss the spark, you're only going to lose like maybe a second, probably less than a second. But yeah, Naii probably hasn't reloaded the room here yet. And that had to be Pixels. He was so close there. I thought he was going to get the spark. But yeah, that's a bummer. A lot of time lost there.
Yeah, but we keep going because those animals aren't going to let themselves out.
Yeah.
Not even once we've opened the door.
I was hoping I could give him the RNG manip excuse again, but those animals were not great.
No, that definitely wasn't an RNG manip there.
No. I mean, I've been running this game for forever, and I've seen the animals enough times to know that animals is just this. There's a 1% chance you get good RNG, and a 99% chance you get bad RNG. That's pretty much animals in a nutshell.
And also that 1% where it's good is almost always on a bad run.
Yes, exactly. Getting the power bombs, and as we mentioned earlier, this is where things are going to pick up. We're going to have quite a few tough rooms here after this axe escape.
This room's fine though.
Yeah.
Able to outrun the shot. And that room is something that requires a little bit of work when you're first getting into learning the speed run, because if you don't morph into the tunnel quickly and get out of that room quickly, that shot absolutely will catch Samus in the back of the ankle.
I have died in that room, for sure. I can't attest to that.
Oh yeah, I think we all have. Maybe not in Hundo.
Yeah, it was 50%, but almost some really nice patterns there on the Rippers. That room, that climb there can be quite tough if the Rippers spawn in unfavorable positions. So yeah, I do a little bit more investigative journalism here. Let's see. He is ahead. He is on PD pace. I don't want to, commentators curse. I'm sorry, Ohm. But just curiosity killed the cat, right?
I guess good luck, have fun, Ohm. And there's your commentator's curse right there.
Gosh.
Ohm not looking very happy with this Ripper placement.
It's all my fault. Oh, it's all my fault. I'm sorry, Ohm.
Ron, you are the worst.
I don't try to be. It's just the way I am. Sorry, But you know what? This is RNG manip. He's gonna get a 0-2.
Oh, nice spark to break that bomb block.
That's a tough spark too. Well done. Very tough spark.
Gotta have a lot of respect for Ohm for going for a good number of swag strats here for us.
I mean, I've tried that spark, and I've actually never gotten it, so it's nicely done. I've never practiced it, but like you always try it because it's just a free time save to get the to break that bomb block there instead of waiting for the power bomb. Here we got Naii here. As we saw, that Ripper climb and the I forget what room it's called, but the power bomb where you freeze the Rippers with the couple blocks. Both of those rooms are quite tough. Can be quite tough depending on the Ripper spawns. So let's see how old Naii does here after this Sax encounter.
Yeah, this game definitely gets a lot of mileage out of patterns where enemies can go in one of two directions, but that still somehow gives us enough variety to make it always feel like a slightly different challenge.
That's what makes this split kind of crazy. It's like an optimal gold on this space jump split in Hundo is just so hard to get because there's this whole sector 5 segment you gotta do, plus the fight against keep thinking Arachnus. Can't think of the name because I'm tired.
Yakuza.
Yakuza, there we go. And see, not getting that last. And Spitter Hallway. There's just so many tough rooms here that you can lose time to.
Okay, it looks like that power bomb placement will work for Ohm. I was a little skeptical on it.
No JRP jump? You hate to see it. It's okay though. I'm not mad. Optimally, Ohm did the correct decision there. Is Naii forgetting an item here? I think he is. He is. I hope he remembers that one.
Yeah, hopefully he's just planning to route that in later. Although, was it Naii that we had earlier who asked us in the race time room to take bets on what item would get forgotten?
He did say the E-Tank, so...
Oh, I thought it just said a tank.
Yeah, that's why I said. I think I said the second Arachnus E-Tank.
Yeah, I picked the power bomb tank because reading comprehension is hard.
That's what always gets me in Hundo. I just forget the stupidest power bomb tanks.
I mean, there are too many of them and you need none of them.
Here, this is so bad. So, you know, after the Sax chase, that power bomb that's like just right in the open, that you just see in every run? I've forgotten that item twice. Not once, but twice. I got a 0, so let's see if my commentator not so much good. Set 0 2.
Here's another RNG gauntlet, also casually one of the most difficult bosses in the game, or especially in some of our extension categories. This fight can get really tricky.
As we saw, Ohm got picked up 3 times there. It can be anywhere from 1 to 3 times, or 1 to 4 times, excuse me. So that's where the time loss can be had from RNG from this boss, as well as what we saw earlier with the eye door into the boss itself.
And Ohm getting a nice pattern with Yakuza just staying toward the left side of the room there, able to get a bunch of missiles in. Nice double there.
Yeah, good anticipation too, seeing where it went every time, getting the missiles. 1 out of 3 doubles, so definitely much more solid than 0. But yeah, that boss, that's the gauntlet there, the RNG gauntlet. Once you get past this boss, it's pretty much smooth sailing besides just the last couple of eye doors.
Unfortunately, we'll have to go the rest of the way without wall jumps.
Yep. Now we got space jump.
I love downgrades.
Yeah. First ice missiles, and now they have their utility, but I mean at the same time, they do make your abilities I wouldn't say significantly worse, but worse for sure.
Oh, I'm getting the right positioning on the SAX, not able to get it frozen. Now that we have the Varia suit, we no longer have to worry about getting frozen by the SAX, so that's a benefit over some of the earlier encounters, as we had seen a couple of freezes happen.
Yep. That first round of the sacks, not the best, but the second round, very, very well executed there from home.
I feel like that chase is also very satisfying just to see from a speed run, because casually you're intended to just run into a room up top and hide in the ceiling, but we're like, nah, we're just gonna shoot out the floor and move on with life.
When I was a kid, that was the most memorable part of Fusion for me, where that was just like the scariest, like craziest part that I got stuck on for the longest amount of time.
You really don't expect it to be there right after a really hard boss fight.
Yeah, exactly.
With a Shine Spark to just say heck you to that Key Hunter, getting rewarded with a Zero Beam.
Naii getting a one round, but he jumped into it, so he missed a couple missiles.
And if you have ever been frustrated with the Nettery fight, try playing the Hundo fight.
Oh, it's the
It
greatest.
is really satisfying to unload ordnance.
I love this fight so much.
Especially, we have a category extension, Nettery RTA, where you get to this boss as quickly as possible, and at that point you only have Charge Beam and regular missiles.
Yikes. Oh, that sounds horrible.
And so after that, it's nice to just spam missiles into it. Also, a fun fact in that fight, because the power is on in the station, that door is actually active during the Core X portion of the fight. And when the Core X shoots the plasma beam at you, it can open the door.
I'm having a little bit of trouble with the space jump phase, but still doing just fine. Still has, what, 270 HP, should be totally fine here. But yeah, a little small tidbit with the missiles in Fusion, you can only have 2 missiles on screen at a time. So instead of just like mashing B as fast as possible, you actually have to have like a methodical press depending on how far you are away from the Tori. And so optimizing that boss is actually more difficult than just mashing. You have to, depending on how far away you are, you have to, you know, press the B button at a specific rate. And kind of similar with Notori as well, but a lot more time is saved with Notori. Yeah, this is the item I said earlier where I prefer getting it a little bit later in cleanup, but I think it's a little bit faster to pick up just because of the power bomb placements and the first time you go through Sector 2.
Now getting a little bit more favorable of a spawn with the SAX spawning toward the right side of the room. Also taking a shot there.
He shot a little early, so that's why I got that hit there. But both players with the first try missile shot right down the hole, and Sax is done for now.
For a second, I thought Naii was going to run out of the room without waiting for the power bomb to go off. That'll open up a tunnel that we'll use later.
Yep. That power bomb is strictly for cleanup to be a little bit faster in the future. I will not do any more investigative journalism. That backfired last time. But I think I'm still doing quite well here.
If nothing else, Ohm's run is passing the eye test here.
Yep. can't emphasize how I just love the Notori fight in Hundo. It is so fun. And it's not like it's free, you still have that second phase where Notori's shooting those plasma beams, so you have to react to that as well.
Also, a little bit belated, but after what we just saw on Ohm's side of the screen, I think we're just going to give us a little whee! As Ohm nailing the Shine Spark across Sector 5.
Well done. Not only is it the biggest spark of the run, but it is fun. Hence the whee.
Also, can I just say the music in this section of Sector 5? Most underrated track in the soundtrack, I think.
Oh my gosh, yes. Sector 5 into Sector 4, just such great music. I'm feeling a little called out. I think I should be doing this missile earlier. Oh wait, that's the E-tank. Just leave everybody do it. Not the cleanup. But on the way out of Sector 2.
I mean, you probably should be doing it earlier, but you know. And Ohm able to grab onto the ledge there, looking a little bit happy, not having to go the long way around to pick up that E-tank.
He did mention he was worried about that, so I'm glad he got that, because, yeah, that, if you miss that E-tank there, it's pretty easy to get, but if you miss it, it's a very big time loss.
At least we didn't see him resorting to Flash Frost strats, though.
I know, that's, imagine bombing the block.
I mean, I did that when I casually played the game back in, you know, the early 2000s.
Yeah, I did that when I was 9. Ooh, interesting pattern from Nightmare there. If you enter the room facing the right, you should be getting the same pattern every time. I didn't see, maybe he didn't get a optimal first phase. You have to do the first phase. Like, you have to shoot the first 4 charge.
Yeah, the first phase definitely got further to the left than you usually like to let it get.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as long as you kill Nightmare before a specific point on the first phase, you'll always get the same pattern as long as you're facing to the right and in the room. But yeah, it was opposite. I guess he may have missed a charge shot or a missile shot or something like that.
Yeah, that happens with a couple of the boss fights in this game where if you do them in a similar way and execute well, you get a good pattern that you can react to very easily and you kind of know what's going to happen. But the second they get off script, you are just eating time loss.
The past week I've been trying to figure out the fast Ridley. Oh my god, it's so hard, I just can't do it.
Okay, so it's not just me. Whee! No, I'm not holding it the whole time.
The Wii was so intense that you actually cut out. The microphone couldn't handle it.
Perfect. So chat, everybody thank my microphone for sparing you part of that.
I'm thanking it. The microphone is against us. We needed to hear it all.
And I'm going through worst room in the game. Dodging croissants being thrown at him by crabs, as one does.
Yeah, I don't think we even needed to explain why that's the worst room of the game. You can just see it. And yeah, this lower 4 section is one of my favorites. There's just so much crazy movement and optimizations you can do with regards to bomb placements, speed boosting through bomb blocks, space jumps. There's just so, especially in Hondo, there's just so many different things you can do to save time here. Charge shotting, space pirates, I mean, there's so many like rooms that are just so tough to do. And then, sure, you can do them easily one way, but then you can up the difficulty factor by like a multiple of 10, and you save a second. But,
And we've got a tunnel that got bombed.
oh, nah, it feels bad, man.
Let's see what type of nightmare pattern Naii will get here. Meanwhile, bigohm through the crab battle, picking up the E-Tank reward.
It's really important to just stay in this one little spot and not move. But once Nightmare gets off, like, its pattern here, that's when it starts getting a little bit rough.
Yeah, and you can definitely develop skill in manipulating Nightmare's movement throughout the room. But even so, you're not going to find something as quick as just the scripted fight that we have if you get the first phase successfully.
Yeah, when you mess up, the best way to do it is just kind of go to the left and then let it chase you to the left and then go to the right and then jump up over it and then grab onto the ladder. And that's usually the best way to like negate the time loss, because Nightmare always has this spot in the middle where it'll stop and just slowly come towards you. Easier said than done, though, of course. And more so just kind of takes practice of just fighting the boss over and over again to just get the feel of how it does.
And nailing the Shine Spark into the slope to keep the speed to pick up the item behind the Kago.
Yes, that's one of the hardest tricks in Hundo. Keeping that speed keep to get that power bomb, so very well done from Ohm there. That's a very tense part of the run.
Extremely easy to drop your Shine Spark a couple pixels too high or too low and just end up bonking.
That bomb a little too early, but I mean, he got through the speed keep there through Kago Spark, so he's happy, I'm sure. That's a big part of the run when you're like on a good pace, whether you're behind or ahead. Or it's definitely pretty nerve-wracking going through that room.
Can't wait for the day when this game gets so optimized that we end up trying to use a Corollax jump in that room.
Oh god.
Why do I curse our future so?
You're not wrong, though. You are not wrong. I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Pretty good. The worst room in the game for Naii there. Just get hit a couple times. Usually I get hit 15 times, so pretty good.
Ohm finishing up Sector 4 cleanup.
Yep, that's the power bomb I mentioned earlier. The one power bomb we get. And so we will visit Sector 4 one more time, but very, very, very briefly. Maybe like for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Just to get to
It'll be the most technical section of the run when we get to it, though.
Exactly, yes. How fast will they get the screw attack with the blocks?
And now Ohm being reprimanded for opening up the level 4 locks.
How could he? Play
But
the
it's
game.
okay because Adam said that he's got a new game console he can go pick up over in Sector 6.
Microsoft. The Xbox. As I mentioned earlier, this is kind of like what we call the gauntlet, just boss after boss after boss, picking up items, one item after the other. Xbox is definitely one of the tougher ones to optimize because of how sporadic it is with its movement and how tough it is to... optimally, you can get 4 missile shots into the Xbox before it becomes invulnerable again, and it's very difficult. So, and it also does a ton of damage. So 80%, we've seen quite a bit of deaths. We're in Hundo, so it should be fine, but it's still definitely a tough second. For me, it's definitely the hardest boss for me to optimize. It's just so tough.
Oh, for sure. I'm trying to figure out what Ohm was trying to accomplish with that spark.
I don't know. I saw it too. I do not know.
I liked it. I don't know what it was supposed to do.
Ooh, Naii getting a little bit of trouble here. Ultimately, you can get out of that little pit there with all those fish before they spawn. But yeah, Naii showing us if you don't get out of there fast enough, that's what's gonna happen. Nearly impossible to get out there without spending time to kill them.
There's a reason we call it the Thunderdome.
Yeah. Although, even though Ohm did that... Oh, well, here. Let's watch Naii do the... see if we can do the...
Warning, no entry.
Hero Spark, as we call it. One of the hardest tricks in Hundo.
No entry without authorization.
Missing it, but doing the backup. Exactly how it's meant to be done, so we're not losing too much time.
Authorization.
And get your cat jams in chat. We're gonna have a little bit more of the best track and the soundtrack here. And Xbox, definitely a tricky fight. We make it look easy in the run, but it is very positioning based. If you're too close or too far away, your missiles won't hit. And if you're too close, whenever Xbox jumps, it will knock you off of the ladder and into itself in the electrified water.
Yeah, it's very difficult. And believe it or not, you can kill that boss with one jump. So, I mean, it's pretty much only like the top runners do it. I couldn't do it myself. But yeah, it's just insane how much this fight can be optimized. Also with the double missiles. Definitely the hardest boss fight in my opinion to optimize.
It was also very long theorized that there was no reason to go for doubles on that core because there was absolutely no way to set it up RTA to save time, and then we've had some people manage to save time with it, but the positioning's so precise and the timing's so difficult now that we have diffusion missiles that it is almost not worth going for doubles on that.
It's a combination of how difficult the fusion missile doubles are, how little room you have in that room, and just it being a beam core, so there's just this little tiny hitbox for it. But shout out to Monkey. He got one this tournament, so...
Nice. Also, SMH my head. Ohm's using not to line up the Metroids for us.
Oh, SMH. It only loses, like, what, 3 frames or something? Come on. To be aesthetically pleasing? Always worth. That's something me and Flash can agree on. Although we agree on a lot of things, but... not the Nightmare E-Tank. Yeah, we're coming at the tail end here of the Gauntlet, which would be the end of any percent. But we get a whole chunk of awesome cleanup after this, after Ridley here.
Yeah, I love it for a speed run, but I do think it is kind of disappointing in design how there's so much stuff that's kind of there just so that you can go get it in this limited part of the game.
Yeah. Honestly, you talking about cleanup RTA, like that is honestly like a fantastic idea. Like I'm surprised nobody else thought about it.
I think the hardest part will be like defining what items count as being in cleanup.
True.
Especially because some people like to argue about a certain missile in Sector 2.
Yeah, no, you get the missiles. But that is a good point. But it being just like a one-off category, it could be whatever, you know. Hopefully.
You know, we could also say that that missile's not a part of cleanup unless your name is Ronald Rage.
Oh yeah, free time loss for me.
Exactly. Just, you know, lock in and overcome that.
Yeah. But my gold still. I guess it's really only the gold for that one split though.
speaking of golds, Ohm's coming into the Golden Pirates room.
Look at that segue.
Going for the best programmed enemy in all of Metroid Fusion.
Yep. You're supposed to shoot those in the back, but programming being programming, you can just shoot and turn around. It'll be registered as a hit.
If you're looking in the same direction as it, you must be behind it.
Exactly.
And no beams going in there.
Man, big. Oh,
Hey, this looks a lot like those chicken wings that Ohm found in the freezer earlier.
Yep. Frozen chicken wings.
I think they might be a little spoiled.
I'm honestly curious on Ohm's RNG. I know he got 3 around Yak, but a 0-3 Yak. It can't be more than like 10 beams. So pretty good RNG here. This one I get some decent RNG on a couple beams, but I can't get every single thing.
Ohm with a nice Ridley fight there, making sure to get as many diagonal shots as possible to optimize damage.
That was definitely a good fight. All his charge beams were really it's all about the plasma beam doing as much damage as possible and keeping the plasma beam in his hitbox. And all his hits were right on cue there.
Xbox showing off one of the ways where it can get out of hand, where if you miss hitting it in one cycle, it'll change the pattern. Instead of jumping in the way that you expect, it just kind of walks back and forth in a way that's much more difficult to hit accurately. And Ohm officially moving on to cleanup.
Naii tried a double there. I don't think he didn't get it, but respect.
Mad respect.
As we can see, look how narrow this room is. And usually with doubles, you set up the core to go a specific way, so you gotta jump over it and let it go towards you, and then you shoot the missiles into it, and it's impossible in this room to do that. So.
And most of the setups we have take long enough to set up that you actually lose time over just not going for them.
Mm-hmm. Here we have cleanup starting on the other side. Nice little R shot to kill it for no reason, but we love to see it.
That enemy knows what it did.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a reason behind it. I said no reason, but I'm sure there's a reason.
Oh, no Metroid stacking from either runner here.
That's okay. So there's a strat coming up on Big Ohm's side called Saveless, where you can actually get this power bomb without entering the save room. It's very difficult, but let's see if he can get it. It does save quite a bit of time. Looks like he's going for it here, because you do have to get rid of those blocks there on the right. No, he's not going for it. Interesting. But it's kind of like a ×2 strat, where you do it on your first attempt, and you can also get it on your second trip into that more open room there.
And you have just enough room to store a spark without getting into the save room.
It's super tight. Like, you're literally putting the spark like inside the door. You can see like barely the right side of Samus there.
I have never managed to get it.
It's like doing the safety strat there. Totally fine in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely, especially in a race where I imagine he knows he's ahead at this point.
Right. Yeah.
So you just want to go for the safe options that'll get you through the game quickly and not give your opponent a chance to catch up.
Yeah, and like the time save of Saveless is literally just the room transition. That's all it saves. So it's not that much time.
It's more for your pride than for your time save.
Yeah. And as we mentioned, I mean, it does add up. There's a ton of rooms here, and cleanup and the game itself. But yeah, just the transition, which is maybe a second and a half.
There are in fact so many rooms in this game that we have recently been having conversations about what the fewest number of room tiles you can enter and to complete the game is.
I wonder. I mean, it's a pretty linear game, so I'm sure there's a definite answer, but I have no idea. Although with the Bob skip, maybe it's not so definite. Man, I missed the power bomb. Yeah, you can see it.
I don't think you would have to bob skip because I think you still have to go through that room on the way out of Red Tower regardless.
Oh, after, what you call it?
But, you know, you could always do a little bob skip as a treat.
Yeah, right.
Meanwhile, bigohm showing off the interconnectedness of the station as there are helpful screw attack tunnels to let us get through everywhere.
We've mentioned
And the
once we
first
get-
of hopefully many space boosts here.
Yes. Sector 3 has the easiest space boost, but there's definitely plenty of them you can do. Sector 1, Sector 6, and Sector 3.
I wonder what route Ohm is going to use through here. Because we normally see a counterclockwise cleanup in Sector 3. In the past, a lot of runners used to do a clockwise version of the cleanup, which is a little bit more swag, a little bit less speed.
Was that more of the, because I don't know about it, the RTA, or not RTA, IGT strats doing the clockwise?
I think it survived a little bit past the switch from IGT to RTA.
Oh, okay. Because I
Either
know...
that or I was just learning from old tutorials when I started learning Hundo, which very plausible.
Well, I was talking to Herc, and I know for sure that we switched from a strat that you do a space boost through the lower left, the one big ohm is in, that room, you would speed boost through that. But we found out to be faster just to go to that room first, RTA. But clockwise, I honestly haven't heard of.
That actually is
Sounds
the
fun.
clockwise one, the one that you were describing.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it's better because it has the space boost.
Yeah, and honestly, I would rather have the space boost personally, because it'd be super fun.
Rule
Like-
number 1 in Fusion, if you can do it with a space boost, it's better.
Yeah, exactly. Because that, like, cleanup is so fun, and Sector 3 cleanup's really fun, but that's, like, the one part going through this room that's just, like, yeah, you just jump in, and that's it. Yeah, shoot. Space boosting through would be so much more fun.
I will never stop being sad that my favorite space boost in the game could literally never save time in any category.
Which one's that? I'm curious.
Going all the way from Pillar Highway through to Space Boost Alley.
Pillar Highway in Sector 6?
Yep.
Dang. That's crazy. I'd have to see it to, like I know what you're talking about, but I have to see it now.
It's not easy.
I'm sure. Even without Pillar Highway, it's like one of the hardest tricks in Hundo to clean up.
Yeah, the problem is it'll never be faster to pick up the items in Space Boost Alley after Pillar Highway.
Yeah. Oh, and I was gonna say, we've seen the double missile on the plasma core, or the wave beam core, but we haven't seen the bob skip yet in the tournament. So, calling out to the top runners there, if you want to try it. I think
Monkey,
Monkey
please.
for it once. I think he's gone for it once. And he didn't get it. No save was sadly, but as I mentioned earlier, not the biggest time save, but pretty much the only one in Sector 1 besides the space boost we talked about earlier. Sector 1 cleanup being pretty short.
Meanwhile, Ohm on the way out of Sector 3, remembering to pick up the item in the walkway. Another easy one to just run right past.
We are coming on Sector 5, and I did mention it to Naii. I didn't say he missed a PB, I just said, Naii, the PB! So, Naii needs to pick up that power bomb if he wants to win this race, otherwise it's pretty much guaranteed. If he doesn't pick that up, he will lose. Because it's not 100%. Hopefully he'll pick that up.
Interesting spark there, Ohm.
Yep, interesting. The optimal way being just to jump and freeze those pancakes, but probably losing less than a second there, so not a big deal. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, like, no more investigative journalism, but I'm on a pretty dang good run here, so hopefully,
Says Ohm is on a good run, immediately Ohm falls through the floor.
Oh. I'm just gonna stop talking forever.
No,
And we have
don't do
sector
that. We need comms.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But here we come up on Sector 6. Arguably the hardest part of the run, Sector 6 cleanup. In my opinion, Sector 2 also is very, very difficult. I personally put them kind of on equal footing on how difficult they are, but each with their own specific tricks and how you can do specific rooms. It just depends on what strat you do.
I think Sector 6 is hardest optimally.
Right.
Sector 2 is hardest if you're not going for the 100% most optimal strats.
Well said, for sure. Sector 6 has some pretty easy strats.
And Ohm is going to go for the space boost.
Oh, Naii going for the space boost in 3, but barely misses it.
And Ohm getting the space boost into Space Boost Alley, you love to see it.
GG, well played. Let's go, Ohm. That's not easy at all. Very well done. Such a tough space boost. Because you just have that narrow area to do the boost. What is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles and height? Man.
Yeah, definitely not easy, but it saves a ton of time over the intended strat of sparking all the way through those walls, then running on top and running back to the left.
Definitely.
And sparking back through the item.
And I've been trying to learn that strat, and it's not just that room. Like, you have to go into the other room before that, you have to R-shot. There's all sorts of, certain things you have to do even before you get to the room itself. So, well done. Very good strat there. From Autumn. And it does, like Autumn said, it saves a ton of time as well. Like the Sector 1 space boost saves like a second and a half. The Sector 6 space boost, I don't know how much time it saves, but it does save a ton of time. I believe I've heard, like, from not doing any space boosts, you can gold by like 10-15 seconds from doing all the optimal strats in Sector 6. So.
I believe it, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard...
Because even our backup involves building up an entire shine spark on the bottom of the room and then positioning it correctly to go up into the item.
Right, yeah. I recall
the space boost will always be faster than other movement, just if for no other reason than you don't have to sit through the startup and bonk animation if you're doing a space boost.
Exactly. And you'd be surprised how much time you actually lose from that startup and the bonk animation. You lose a ton of time, and it adds up for every single spark you do.
Okay, I'm getting Run Crumbler on the second try, getting a backup when the bomb strat not coming through.
Not getting the bomb jump, but getting the frame perfect crumble block jump, so nicely done there.
If you can't get the easier strat, the harder strat is fine.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Naii over in the express elevator.
Fun little strat there. You can jump through that door, and as you reach your apex of that jump, it's not really like a real door fix, but it kills all the novas in the room if you are shot at the apex of the jump. So it's like, it doesn't save time, but it kills all the novas, so it gets rid of all the RNG. So it's quite nice to do.
We do like getting rid of RNG.
Yeah, shout out to Scotty for that one. He, I don't know if he made up that strat, but he definitely talked to him. And that's just been something that not many people know, but over time we've all just kind of told each other, hey, do this, hey, do that. And that's what I guess being a team is all about. It's everybody teaching each other what they know, what they don't know.
Bigohm coming on to the most technical part of the run now, Sector 4 cleanup.
Here we go.
Hamster coming to gravity and through. Shoutouts to Ohm managing to fall all the way down the room.
He had to save like at least a minute there. That was incredible. Except for 4 cleanup. Okay, maybe not a minute. Definitely watching
Okay.
Naii screen here. Okay, he is going down for the item. Fantastic.
You love to see it.
Yeah, it's
And
very,
Ohm
very important.
falling through the crumble blocks in Crumble City, but it's okay. Able to get the items.
Nice backup there, actually. 'Cause that's a tough, like, as you're falling through those crumble blocks, it's hard to press A at the right time. You gotta double press A for the space jump. So, nice little backup there. Naii is behind, but as I said, Sector 2 is not easy, and we have stacks after that, so it still could be anybody's game, even though Ohm's on an incredible pace here.
Yeah, all it takes is Ohm for getting one item.
That too, sure. That's what Window's all about. Looks like everybody's gotten everything now. That Nai's picked up that power bomb from the server. Speed keep in the Sector 1. That's the last Sector 1 item there.
And Ohm getting the space boost, not quite able to go all the way through the bomb blocks, but still, you love to see it.
Oh yeah, that one is so fun. Only a couple items left for Ohm here. One of the toughest items in cleanup, Killer Highway, to do optimally. That one, I believe, yeah, is the next item. And then after that, just, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 items after that. Ooh, Ohm getting lucky there with the perfect Ripper pattern.
And also going for the safe method rather than trying to do the respin space jump.
Yep, shout out to Flash
Loses a
Run.
little bit of time, but so much safer and good way to not let the lead change in a race that you're ahead in.
Too soon? I'm sorry, too soon. Flash, you still beat me in PvP, so that's really what it's all about, right? Ooh, Naii with the cool strat there. I haven't seen the spark. Oh, he was too low though. I'm sure he knows the backup though. I was wondering if that would have hit the. I gotta ask him about that actually. If that spark could hit the power up there.
It
So
can't.
pretty
The
quick.
geometry is actually designed so that you're not able to spark through it,
Okay, okay. Because
but you're supposed to go past, and that's why it's kind of a puzzle that the intended strat is to run from up top.
Okay.
But if you don't feel confident in the space jump or the space boost, it's probably the best way to go through the room is just going through. And
And
that
maybe-
way you can just drop on the left side, run over to the right, and get yourself a visual cue to spark up.
Right. And then the other, like, quote-unquote easy strat is to do, like, a jump, shoot, and then spark to the left. Maybe I'm not a big fan of that, so maybe that's why we did it that way. Which is totally fine. We got Ohm doing the shot cancels up Zosby Speedway. Gotta respect it. We got one power bomb left to get on the home screen. Bottom side.
Meanwhile, Naii out in space.
That was close. He almost left space there for a second, and that's a big time loss. So nicely done there from Naii to keep it from having to redo that whole, not even that whole room. You have to back up 2 rooms to get your speed push to get up there again.
Now that we've picked up everything on the station, I'm finally gonna go talk to Adam.
Yep. Yeah, in Hundo, it's a little bit less appreciated than 80% of the little break you get. In Hundo, yeah, in my opinion. In 80%, it's like, oh man, we just got through this gauntlet of all these bosses. Let's take a second, just tech punch. But in Hundo, it's like, come on. Now I gotta talk to Adam for whatever it is, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Yeah, as we see on Nai's screen, Sector 6 really is a gauntlet of just like tough trick after tough trick. This power bomb here is very tough. He needs to lay those bombs a little bit more to the right. Look at that. There he goes.
Yeah, that bomb jump being a very recent development so that we're not relying on a frame perfect crumble jump or doing the intended strat of using diffusion to hope you have an enemy in the right pattern that you can freeze it and make a platform out of it.
Yeah, the crumble jump is very tough. As I mentioned earlier, when bigohm got the backup, it is frame perfect. And the bomb, we just call it Asa Worm Skip bomb. Just because there's a very important trick in Zero Mission 80% where it's very similar, where you have essentially the same thing, where you put a bomb into a tight spot there. And look at Naii and Pillar. Oh my god, that was so fast. This guy must play Rando or something.
Clean Pillar Highway. I was a little bit worried about that last bomb. I thought it might be a little too far to the left, but it was good.
Guaranteed that was a faster Pillar Highway than any Pillar Highway I've ever done in my entire life. I'm so bad at that room. That was
Play more
fantastic. Yeah, right? Damn, Naii. That was actually like super nice. That was really good. I've noticed Naii because, for those who don't know, Naii actually got second place in the spoiler rando tournament we had recently, and he's very good at rando. So I've noticed there's quite a few rooms he's done insane, or I've noticed other rooms he's definitely played not much Hundo, and self-admittedly he hasn't practiced much. He's told me that himself. But yeah, he can definitely be a very good Hundo runner if he, put more time into it.
Oh yeah, lots of respect for joining the Hundo tournament as primarily a rando runner and just pushing the limits there too.
Yeah, we appreciate every single runner here.
And bigohm showing us that 4-shot is a myth.
Exactly, yeah. Yet again, Naii with a perfect, God, it's late. I can't think of anything else. It's over.
Yeah, Nai's got some sauce in this cleanup.
Yep.
It doesn't look like it'll be enough to change the outcome of the race, but still we get to see some good fusion out of it.
Double. Not too shabby, bigohm.
Propulsion sequence
Got the triple double.
That's what you want to see. Now the real question, chat, is I'm gonna get low height.
So usually it depends, obviously, with the optimization. It's about a minute 50 seconds from the propulsion sequence. So, Oman really good pace here.
Yeah, last I checked, Ohm was within a minute of PB, if nothing else.
And even if he doesn't PB, it's always nice to just have a good run in a race, just to kind of set you up for the next race. Although I don't know, this might be the last race of their. I think it might be the last race.
This will be the last race for these two, as
okay.
The other two from their pod are the ones who are advancing.
Which was this, the Herc one or the Beria one? I forget.
That is what I was actively looking up to try to see, because I don't remember. It looks like this is Thunder, Beria, bigohm, and Naii, so Thunder and Beria will be moving on.
Gotcha. Ooh, Naii also with the good question mark pattern, but he shot the diffusion a little late there. This no! The screw attacked it. You hate to see it, and this is why this room is one of the worst rooms I'm playing up. You hate to see it.
Meanwhile, Ohm getting a little bit off script on the Omega here, backing it up with just, okay, he's got the stun lock now, and Ohm able to clutch it out.
Ohm doing the rando.
Fortunately, this is Hundo, and we've got 20 E-tanks, so not easy to die against the Omega there. And get your GGs in chat. Big Ohm finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 9 seconds.
GG. He would have PB'd if it wasn't for me, honestly. But
yeah, you are just the worst, Ron.
Commentator's curse. Ah, sorry, You gotta commentate my next race and destroy me now. And that race means a lot too.
Because Ohm comms are fire.
Yeah, that race means a lot too because that'll be in the tournament or in the bracket stage. Be between. I think I'll be either playing Sci-Fi or Mike Food, depending on the winner of the race on Thursday. Which that'll be a great race there for sure.
That will.
Both of them being sub 140 runners. Top.
And we will both be in the booth for that one as well.
Bang!
Finally
Sure will.
getting some races scheduled at hours that we're off work.
Yeah, right. And I've been wanting to commentate races, but I live with my parents and they, like, my whole setup is in the living room. Or not the living room, but like the room next to the living room. So I just don't want to commentate a race with like church, or, just like random stuff happening in the background. Oh, Naii trying the speed keep there, missing it. That's honestly, I've been saying one of the hardest tricks in Hundo, but that along with Sector 6 space boost is another one of the hardest tricks in cleanup. Where I don't even go for it. I just shoot it out and get it first.
I'm starting to think Hundo might just be hard.
It is hard, yes. It's easier to complete a run, for sure, because number one, RNG does not matter as much. Like, if you get bad RNG, you can still get a good run. And also, you don't die as easily. Especially if
It's easier to complete a run unless your name is Autumn, apparently.
Well, like in 80%, a lot of the top runners get like 1, 2, maybe 3 E-tanks tops. But yeah, getting all these extra E-tanks is nice. But yeah, the optimization is insane in Hundo.
Yeah, and especially with so much of it coming at the end of the run, so you've got to get all the way there to realistically be getting a lot of reps in.
Yeah, precisely.
Getting reps in.
Yo, Ohm, GG.
Thank you.
That was a solid ass rod, man.
Let's run. Thank you.
Yeah, we love to see the little swag that got thrown in at points throughout the run as well.
No,
Yes,
what beside the swag spark?
Now you're asking me to remember something that I experienced
dude,
5
it is
seconds
so-
ago.
How much swag did I throw in? I like.
You
like,
threw in so
blank.
much swag that Ron got yeeted out of this voice call.
Got one roll, you got pretty good RNG, I think, right? You got one roll, you got a 0-3 at Yakuza.
We didn't hear whatever you were saying, Ron. Ohm had so much swag that you got dropped from the voice call for a moment.
Oh, nice. Well,
Okay.
oh,
yeah,
that was my fault. That was a pop-up.
the Arachnus roll killed me. I was like, bro, please.
No,
I
how many
felt like that was an omen, and I feel like the 110 on the results screen just seals it. But
Bang! 110.
110.
Did you recall how many beams you got, though?
I think it was single digit. I hope
Yeah,
it was
it-
single digit.
No, I'm almost certain it was. I was just curious if you knew the exact amount.
Yeah, I just need to, tighten the loose ends here and there.
There was definitely some optimizations I could tell that you just didn't know about, which is totally fine. But I mean, the play was still very good, like very well done. I mean, you got the triple double just from the past 10 minutes that I can remember. You got the triple double. I mean, you didn't four shot, but close enough. So, and
basically everything that went wrong was because Ron was saying that you were having such a good run.
Dude, I was doing some investigative journalism, and every time I mentioned, like, oh, he's ahead, literally 2 seconds after I said you were ahead, that was when you went to the Sector 5 Ripper Room, like the horizontal Ripper Room, with the crumple blocks, and you lost a ton of time.
Yeah.
That was the end of my investigative journalism for your PB.
Yep.
So now you got to screw me over in my next race and commentate and say I'm ahead and everything's gonna go well. And
Of course.
But how do you feel though from that run?
It was whatever. I mean, I'm looking at a red time and a 1:10, so I'm not super happy with it. But I finished a run and it wasn't completely shambolic, so I'll take it.
It does say 100% on it, and that is always important.
Yes.
I think it's your best run of
that
the tournament,
100%.
right?
Yes, easily. Not even close.
So it
See,
seems
the
like
100% I wasn't so scared about once I got the blue X at the Omega fight.
So it seems like it just needs a little bit of practice, and you should be doing just fine.
Oh,
Although
yeah.
this is the last race of the Hundo tournament, though.
Oh, is it?
Of your bracket, sorry. Of
yeah,
your, not bracket, but your group.
Right.
We do have exactly one more race left in the pool stage of the tournament. That'll be happening in 2 days here on Speedgaming. We'll be getting to see Mike Food versus Sci-Fi Gemini to determine seeding in the bracket stage, as both of those runners already are going to be advancing. That'll be here at 10 p.m. Eastern, 2 days from today.
Oh, I should actually be able to watch that one.
Yeah, it should be a good one. That's why I signed up like immediately, because I don't know who saw the any percent race between Sci-Fi and Mike in the last tournament. But
Was that the versus beer race?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was absolutely phenomenal. And don't worry, I put timestamps in the VOD for each beer that was chugged. Or no, each beer that was crushed on his forehead. I don't remember. It was a while ago. And it was a year ago.
Oh my god.
That was one for the ages.
Because the thing is, I commentated it. And so then when I rewatched it back on YouTube, I was like, alright, I'm putting timestamps. Because I know what's going to happen.
I mean, that one was infamous enough that my partner, who doesn't even play this game, still brings that race up on occasion.
Oh, so awesome. Wait, Autumn, I think we commentated it together, right?
That sounds familiar, because I thought I was in the booth for that.
Let's go! That's awesome.
Apparently I got a gold on my animal split. I guess that's what my headphones were exploding about earlier.
You had a really good backup on the, you didn't do Impossible, maybe you tried it, but you had a really good backup. After
Yeah, I beefed it at the first stretchy, and then I was like, whatever.
So just
I usually get the second one to stretch out on my jump over to the ledge, so I just shoot him. So.
Right, it's been known now that Impossible Strat's not even worth going for. There's a strat that's like literally even faster and free. So.
Oh my
Wait,
god,
really?
is it really?
Yeah, you just just Ash made, but he's the one who found it out. But you just wall jump off the right and do a couple shot cancels, and then just instantly shoot the guy, and it just either it saves time or it's the same amount of time save, and yeah, it's just
All right, okay.
I'm not sure I would call that wall kick free, because I'm bad at Impossible, so that's usually what I do for the first half, and I just don't finish it well.
You do have to wall kick like as it's like spawning in, so it's definitely not free, but it's much easier than Impossible Strat for sure. But one question I am curious about: are you gonna keep doing Hundo Ohm since you're like in the zone and playing better and better, or are you just gonna go on the next? I mean,
Not
no worries
tonight.
either
My
way.
hands hurt, but I am definitely back in it.
Just in
I've been-
general, yeah.
Yeah, I've been meaning to hit the grind for a long time now, and my current day job makes it very difficult to consistently do anything. So even like my streams in general are sparse when I do them at all.
Hey, I know that life, dude. I know that
Yeah,
life.
dude.
I haven't been
Felt.
live in a long time.
I would not recommend doing AV.
I would not recommend doing. Sorry, I'm not good.
Oh no, go ahead. It's fine.
Just working in general. No. You should make money.
Make money. Pay
What
bills.
I want to say is not ideal, just because it's not good advice for people.
Right.
But working a lot is important. Making money is important. Do that.
Yep.
But anyways, I mean, proud of you, man. Like, even though you're not gonna go to the bracket stage, like, you ended it on a great run. Like, I mean, you did some swag shit. You play well. I mean, well played, man. It was awesome.
Yep. Seeing Monkey's GDQ run and slowly improving throughout this pool, that like made me remember how good it felt. So
Yeah,
and
awesome.
also
That's what we love to see in tournaments. Is
all
just
hail
players.
the notch stick of the GameCube controller.
Hey, that monkey plays on GCN or GameCube controller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that felt way better than I thought it would.
What was your Nai's here, but I think he's muted. Just curious on your biggest time loss and your biggest time save of the run. You said you golded, but what was your biggest time save if it was the gold?
My biggest time save?
Oh, nice here.
Probably Natori and Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm somehow saved 13 seconds on Natori.
Oh, you saved time on
And I
Yakuza?
saved over 40 on Yak.
Oh, you got a bunch of time save on Yakuza. Because didn't you,
Yeah, then I proceeded to lose like double that on Xbox.
You got double grabbed on the, Yakuza.
And
But
that's
still
still really bad.
good
I
time.
lost 10.5 seconds between getting to power bombs and getting back to the nav room. And then I lost 6 seconds from Yakuza to Natori. I don't see a time loss much bigger than that.
So your biggest time loss was when I said you were on PB pace. Fantastic. Good job, man.
Oh
My
no, that
other-
time loss was actually cleaning up Sector 6. I don't know why I lost 21 seconds there though.
It was
My
probably
other big time loss is
the crumble jump. Oh no, that was Naii that messed with the crumble
The
jump.
crumble
I
jump.
don't know.
The crumble jump, the cursor crumble jump. I know there's a bomb strat. I've done it successfully 2 times.
I also have not learned the bomb jump, even though everybody in the community has been telling me to do it. I also have not learned it. It's okay.
It's okay. We can't all take free time save.
But yeah, no, Naii. Sorry, you just came here. So, how do you feel about the run?
horrible. I hated it.
I feel like, dude, you did so many. You did quite a few rooms, like better than I could do. You did like quite a few, like pillar room, for example. Like I saw you do that room like a sub 140 runner would do that room. But then other rooms, it just seemed like you just seems like you just haven't practiced maybe, or you just haven't done enough runs to really be comfortable. I mean,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah. So because you have the skill, man, it's like you're playing like insane. But no, I don't think you played horrible. I think you played totally fine. I think literally all you need to do, if you want, obviously, you play a ton of games, a ton of randos. But no, you could be a beast in this category, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Do you plan on playing anymore, Hundo, or
Possibly.
just in the tournament?
More than that, I need to figure out how the heck I lost 40 seconds from Sector 5 cleanup. I have no clue.
Sector 5. No, you just got back. You got that power bomb. That's all the time lost.
I
was.
always get that on cleanup.
Oh.
The Ripper
Don't do
Power
that.
Bomb?
Don't do that.
Yeah,
No,
the
just
Ripper
get
Power
that.
Bomb we usually do coming out of Power Bombs.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm very used to an old route. Like this is the first run I do counterclockwise Sector 3.
Oh,
wow.
Interesting. Yeah, Autumn was telling me about that. How we used to, or they used to do clockwise Sector 3.
Yeah, so I'm getting used to a more recent route.
No, it sounds like you're doing just fine. You're just kind of learning and going at it your own way. Because I mean, I mentioned it in the cast how like you were second place in the rando tournament we did not too long ago. So like,
Yeah, and I don't know.
you
how
obviously
the
have the
heck you did
potential.
that.
No. You obviously have the potential. And you killed it there. So, I mean, I know you. What are the main games you play?
I usually play the Prime games.
Yeah, Prime, right? Prime and Prime Rando.
Based.
Yeah.
I still need to learn Prime. One day.
But it's obviously up to you. But no, we would love to have you. Try and optimize Hondo, and any questions you want to ask, I'm all ears, and the community's all ears.
I mean, I've been meaning to join the races you have like on Fridays, but they're always when I'm at work, so I can never join.
Dude, trust me, I know. It's
Felt.
always time zones, people's work schedules. It's tough. But no, we want as many people as possible, especially like people like bigohm, you, Autumn. People who just know the game, know every item, and have the potential. But yeah, it's impossible to have a schedule that can fit everybody in the perfect times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, I've been talking. Autumn, any questions or anything?
What's actually been helping is I've been getting all of the stuff on the back end entered here, so.
Oh crap! I forgot the race time. Oh, you guys finished. Okay, cool.
It's okay,
It's
Ron, I've
late,
got it
okay?
covered.
Thank you. It's almost 2 a.m. on my side, so I will be passing out very shortly.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I hadn't signed up and this wasn't going to be this hype of a race, I probably would have been asleep right around when it started.
But yeah,
But we stay up for good fusion here.
exactly. I wanted to watch this. I wanted to commentate. Just like the next and last race we have, which is Sci-Fi versus Mike. And I think that's Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern?
Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Perfect. All right, cool.
With the same commentary booth, and who knows how it'll compare to the last time we got to talk about those two.
Hey, at least next time I will not feel any guilt with screwing over Mike with commentator's curse. I won't feel anything. But no, anyway.
You heard it here first, chat. Zero remorse from Ron.
For Mike only. Sci-Fi, he's awesome, and I don't know Sci-Fi as well. But anyways, any of you guys want to have any? I'm done here, and I appreciate everybody. But any closing statements for anybody?
I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
That sounds like a distinct lack of closing statements.
Hey, gameplay said enough. I respect it.
Well, hey, thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, for coming out to support this year's Metroid Fusion 100% tournament. Naii, thank you for putting on a good show for us here and getting some good races in. Even if you two aren't advancing to bracket, you still definitely put in some work. But with that said, we have once again seen this pools matchup between bigohm and Naii. I have been Autumn Out of Habit, joined here in the booth with Ronald Rage. Please, everybody, go give our runners a follow, and we will see you next mission.
Thanks for watching.
Later.
Bye-bye.